We all have emotional injuries from our past. In fact, it's part of the human condition. The question is, what do we do with them?
Well, the other question, of course, is what do they look like? And so the best way to find an injury is to look for the symptom. It's a bit like a disease. You look for the symptom of the disease and then you can work out what the disease is. So men and women often have quite different expressions, the way they express their emotional injuries. The one that's typical for men, and it's quite surprising for men, because men say, well, I'm not injured, I'm tough. Well, actually, apathy is an expression, very typical male expression of an emotional injury or hurt they carry. And what apathy is doing for the man is basically saying, I don't care. And if I don't care, then I can't be hurt. I can't fail in our relationship, so I can be apathetic about the relationship. If I've been letting you down and I've been hurting, I feel like I'm failing, then I can be apathetic, and it's a protective shield I put up. And it's a symptom of my sense of failure or hurt in the marriage.
A really common way that women react to emotional injuries is through anger. Now, anger is a conditioned response to often a deep wound or a fear or an anxiety. And for women, why we go to anger is because it gives us a sense of empowerment. When we're angry, we don't feel so vulnerable, and we don't feel so at risk, I guess, of further hurt. So like apathy, it's another way of putting a barrier up to protect my fragile self-esteem.
And the funny thing is that, of course, there's nothing that scares a man more than his wife's anger, and there's nothing that destroys a woman more than her husband's apathy.
It makes her angry.
So these feed on each other. So if you find yourself apathetic or angry around your relationship or with each other, then it's probably there's some emotional injuries, either from your relationship or from your past playing out, and these are the symptoms. So what do you do about it? Well, the first thing you do is recognise that my attitude, my anger, my apathy, or whatever it might be, is symptomatic of I'm carrying an injury. And if I'm carrying an injury, I need to have it healed or dealt with. And if I just say, well, I will tough it out, I'm okay, it's only affecting me, well, that's not true, because it's affecting everyone around me, particularly my wife, in my case. So we need to sort of name it and accept that it's a reality, and then we have to work out what to do with it.
So one of the things I think is important to realise is that anywhere we've got resentment in our lives, it's impacting this relationship, and so it's important to deal with it. And so the very first step is to really take that to prayer, because as part of being married and a couple in the church, God calls us to not just grow in holiness for ourselves, but also to help each other grow in holiness. And that means becoming more whole as individuals. So we need to really address those emotional injuries as part of that journey as we become perfected in holiness.
Of course, the great sacramental graces that come with being married is who's best in my life to help heal me of my injuries and hurts, and the woman or the man who loves me the most. And that's our spouse, and that's what the sacramental gift is for us both. So we've got many ways to heal each other. The real challenge for us is to find these injuries and face into them together.